Shalom, I'm Rabbi Jonathan Ginsburg of Skokie, Illinois. This Dvar Torah is about Parshat Lech Lecha. Now, at the end of the portion of Noah last week, God describes how Abraham's father started a journey leaving from their area in Ur of the Chaldees and stopped halfway to the land of Israel. And one could say, in a positive side, that Abraham's father started the journey. But Abraham now completes it, because at the beginning of this portion, God calls Abraham and says, Lech Lecha, go forth from the place that you know, from everything you know, and go forth to a place you don't know, that I will send you, and there I will make of you a great nation, and you will have the covenantal experience. Now, one of the questions is, why Abraham? We, of course, know he's the first Jew. He began this monotheistic journey, and one of the great spiritual giants of all time, but why him? Well, there's a legend that's taught to Jewish kids in Sunday school. It's not in the Bible, but the rabbis said that when Abraham was growing up, he figured out that there had to be one God, and his father was an idol maker. He actually crafted stone idols in his workroom and sold them as gods. And so Abraham wanted to respect his father, but he knew that that wasn't the right path. And so one day his father went out to lunch and said, Abraham, mind the store. Abraham then destroyed all of the idols, which the Torah says that they could do in those days, but he left the biggest one there, and he put a hammer and chisel with which Abraham used to destroy the idols in the hands of this big idol. And when his father came back and said, what happened to my inventory? Abraham said, well, they all had a big fight. They were jealous of each other, and the biggest one destroyed all the others and won. And his father said, that's ridiculous. You know I make them out of stone in my workroom back there. They can't move. They're just stone. And Abraham said, aha, Dad, see? God is the true way. And that's why God merited to thought of Abraham's merit. But it was a test, one of 10 tests that Abraham faced, that God said, according to the rabbis, God gave Abraham. And that's an issue for us to ponder about the tests that we face in life and the way in which we deal with those tests, and whether God always comes out the victor in the tests that we face. The next major question in the Torah portion is, how is he going to convince Sarah? You can imagine him coming to Sarah and say, honey, God just talked to me and told me that we have to leave everything, their business and the house and our family, everything we know, and go to a place that we don't know. Well, Sarah would say, why would we do that? I once heard Peter Pitzela, who's a great teacher of literature and of text. He does psychodrama through the text. Posed this question, and I posed it then to 10th graders, and I had all the boys try and be Abraham and the girls be Sarah, and they all tried to convince Sarah that things will be great there, we'll get a better job, a bigger house, nicer community. And Sarah wouldn't budge. But one 10th grade boy, at the end of all the others trying, said to Sarah, honey, I don't really know who this God is, and I didn't ask for it, but I just feel so overwhelmed by the power of this voice, and I know deepest in my heart that this is a true message, that we are on the brink of a huge journey, the most important journey in history, to bring this God, the one God of the universe, unseen and unknowable, to the world. And we have to take this journey to do that. And this 10th grade girl hearing that said, I'll go. Once you give people a spiritual message, a higher level than just the crass materialism of life, the highest level of self-actualization and an existential reason for going, she wanted to go. It took great courage to do that. And so Lech Lecha stands for all of these things, about the importance of a spiritual journey, about listening to the call of God, about the tests we take, about being faithful to God, and about sometimes having to take steps that seem a little insecure, to take giant steps to make a huge change for us and for the world.